Oh, they're really picketing actors and actresses.
I guess they are. Hello and welcome to another edition of Unpopular Reviews, ladies and gentlemen. Clearly tonight, what are we reviewing? That one movie, Hitch, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. I'm talking. You want to know why I'm talking? Because I picked this movie, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Unpopular Reviews. Joining me tonight is none other than Mr. Hardcore himself, Triple X, Nike Mox, and Mr. Rain Cloud himself, the executive consultant. How are you doing, gentlemen? How did you like this movie?
Did you ever hear this guy they call the date doctor?
Urban myth.
Really?
Absolutely.
I was told you were the guy that helps guys like me.
Nobody's perfect.
That's pathetic.
Pathetic. But one man
My name is Alex Hitchens. Call me Hitch.
can help you come close.
Let me give you my number. Do you have a pen?
Yes, I do.
Hitch, the cure for the common man.
8 out of 10 women believe that the first kiss will tell them everything that they need to know. The secret is to go 90% of the way and hold. Now show me the magic. Show me the magic. What the hell was that? I'm showing you the magic. No, I said come 90 and then I come 10.
That was great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you why I picked this movie. Why? Because this is Simp Month. I think this is actually the culmination of Simp Month. And this movie, in my opinion, embodies that better than just about any other movie. I always loved this movie because I could identify with it. There was a person in my life that was a Hitch. There was a guy that, I definitely identify with that person, minus the glasses. It's very Urkel-esque, but I mean, exactly what happened to him didn't happen to me, but pretty similar. And I said, just as soon as I saw that, I definitely could identify with it because I definitely was that guy when I was a teenager, and even early in college. But the reality of the situation is that this thing right here was just great because from the very beginning you could see a backstory on to Hitch as to where he gained all of this experience, and a lot of the tips that he was saying in this movie are accurate. Like that right there, that was smooth as hell, man. That would work today. That was beautiful. Like that was ill right there. That I loved because that was just wow, And the guy is just, and for the most part, when it comes to this, it really, more than anything, it just like encourages self-awareness and confidence. Because more than anything, it's just like, it's a long story, but it's more just like, hey, be yourself. Roll the dice, be yourself. You never know. She's human too. Because one of the things that happens, and I think this movie shows that very well, is that like when we're interested in somebody, we have the ability to pedestalize them and make them bigger than what they actually are. You know what I mean? And then and that's happened to me several times where like I'll make somebody bigger than they actually are, and then I get to know them and I don't really like them. You know what I'm saying? Or the vice versa. But now when it comes to this, I loved it because look, from the very beginning, Albert is basically just a guy that's just has these big dreams of getting with this supermodel. And I mean, come on, is that ever even attainable? Is that ever?
Did you ever hear this?
Huh? Go ahead, put it.
That was a mistake. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, but no. Anyway, like, is it attainable? But then look at that. Look at that. That was one of the most natural things that happened in there. Even though Hitch told him, "Listen, go in there, be assertive, and all of that," the guy quit his job and everything. But clearly it worked because what happened? She came in. She was like, "Hey," and then she created a date. She wanted to see more of him. You know what I mean? And then the guy is like, she's like, "Do you have a pen?" And Hitch is over there in the corner, sliding in the pen. And I was just like, yo, this is great. And that whole scene was just hilarious. I swear to God, that was great. I'm not gonna lie, the King of Queens was perfect for this role. I'm not just biased because I'm from Queens, but the King of Queens, I forget his name right now, but straight up Kevin James, Kevin James. Like Kevin James is just amazing for this role. And right now I'm talking too much because I really, really love this movie. Like I've seen it a long time because I personally can resonate with it. And I think that a lot of people out there that have simp energy or have had some kind of simp energy at their dates, because I think that happens to every man. I think that every man can identify with this at one point in their life. You know what I mean? Because and we need people to call it out so that then we can end the war on softness. Anyway. So what do you guys think about this movie? We'll be passing it off to Mike Knox because
Okay. I like to go go clockwise. So over here. So I'm gonna go second. Get out my seat then. So it's like when somebody said football, I came a running. If you ever watched, remember the Titans, when I saw we were doing Hitch, I came a running. Here it is. I haven't said it all today, so I'm gonna say it right now. This is literally one of my favorite all-time romantic comedies. I didn't see it as a simp movie until I thought about, well, Kevin James is the simp in the movie, not Hitch himself. But watching this film, I loved it, and I can't not relate to this movie other than being so smooth, like Will is in this character as Hitch. As a teenager, maybe. As an adult, I'm not bragging. I'm just sagging. You bet you want to see the D-O-double-G. I've never had a problem talking to girls. I've always been very flattering. I remember just even the other day, my wife and I were having a conversation about guys and certain things. She said, Mike, you never had that issue. And I thought about it. I never have. I've always been charming. I've always been, I smile. I know how to dance. I know how to talk to girls. I never had that problem. But I always admired this movie because I always thought I have friends that are socially awkward, right? And don't know how to talk to girls. And I thought this movie was just one of those telltale signs of doing things. But one thing about the movie that I did like a lot, I'm glad I played this clip right here, is that I am clumsy though. Right? Like other day I'm going to the gym in the morning. Thank God nobody see me. It was probably on the camera. I just fell in the ditch. And you'd have thought I was shot like Ricky. I just fell backwards like, damn, I had to ask, Siri where my phone was because I fell. So I understand certain things. And I just thought this movie from every aspect. I mean, you're talking about a guy, he's a dating coach. You know what I mean? Because like you said, he was a victim of being hurt. And he, from that time, said he would never be hurt again. And it is reality. And what you said as well, Vic, about guys who have a hard time talking to girls because girls have this expectations of men on how we should be and what we should do and things like that. And I thought what made this movie great is that all the coaching that he did do in this movie, it didn't matter to nothing when it came down to, because she actually fell for Albert Vinnerman by him being himself. The first date you mentioned, the kissing scene, just so much in this film I thought was just so funny on so many different levels. And what Will was portraying, how he was working with Albert, and not just Albert, but other gentlemen as well in this film. But overall, there's a good simp movie in this because Albert is simp. Is a simp in that movie. He's lost in how to talk to girls. And I really did dig this movie. But the question is, as we review movies, is it just because I like it, does it make it a good film? I mean, we just did movies that we like, and this guy down here picked a date movie, but we can't rip that because it's his movie. He picked a movie that he liked. It was called what was it called? It was Bad Movies That We Love. He picked that movie. So just it's still a good movie because I like it. I'll give you that part about it later on. Is that your consultant?
So let's mute the exercise bike. Here's a fun fact. I saw this movie in the movie theater when I was waiting for my then girlfriend to make up her mind whether or not she was going to dump me, right? So I saw this. I forgot why. I think my mother and grandmother wanted to see it. Hey, let's just go. And I was like, okay, fine. And the whole time, because I remember she said, we're going to talk when you get home. Call me when you get home or something like that. I'm like, okay. So I was watching this to get, that off of my mind. But I was really sad because I thought I was about to get dumped. And I resonate. That's what Vic likes saying that a lot during the shows. I've been saying, I feel like I haven't done a show with Vic in a while. It's only been 2 weeks, but I feel like I haven't done a show with Vic in a while. He resonates with movies, right? I resonated with Hitch a little bit because I actually am pretty good, and I'm one of the guys that gives advice when it comes to women. But at the same time, when it comes to my own, I suck. But that's a lot of humans, right? A lot of humans can run other people's lives better than they can run their own. They can give good advice, but when it comes to their own, they're terrible. So when it comes to talking to women, sometimes for me, yeah, I can tell something like, this is all you gotta do, this is all you gotta do. But the actions what I do, it's much like Hitch. I mess up, I make mistakes. Because we're human. And I think this movie told a very good side of what it's like to be human, courting a member of the opposite sex that you actually are attracted to on that level. That's the difference. When you actually see somebody that you're interested in, and they told it from two different sides, as someone not used to getting women, and as somebody who's used to getting women. Mm-hmm. This scene was ridiculous, but it is really appreciated. Now, one thing I'll say about that scene is that's something I say to this day. That line after he slapped him, no, as he's dancing, you don't need no pizza. They got food there. I tell people that as a code for you're doing too much. Slow it down, because that's what it's saying. This movie meant a lot to me because I was about to get dumped. I'm getting heavy. I'm getting hearted. I'm crying. I'm shedding a tear. I was about to get dumped. And at the end of this movie, I got dumped. But I was okay because this movie was interesting. And she came back anyway. But this movie was interesting. I loved it. Stay tuned to find out about some thumbs up and thumbs down because I'm going to be issuing a thumbs up or thumbs down. We're going to talk about it. Stay with us. You're watching Unpopular Review.
I never wanted any of this. I never wanted to be in the games. I just wanted to save my sister and keep PETA alive.
Miss Everdeen, it's the things we love most.
I want everyone who's watching to lay down their weapons now.
You're alive.
PETA is the Capitol's weapon, the same way you're ours.
You will rescue PETA at the earliest opportunity, or you will find another Mockingjay.
Help me bring supers back into the sunlight. We need to change people's perceptions about superheroes, and Elastigirl is our best play.
Crazy, right? To help my family, I gotta leave it. To fix the law, I gotta break it.
You've got to, so our kids can have that choice.
Thank you, young man.
Suit up. It might get weird.
I'll be there ASAP.
Where you going ASAP? You better be back ASAP.
Next Thursday, we begin a new month, which means a new theme. And this theme are best movies from the year 2018. You said, hey, that's a random year. It was 5 years ago. I picked a random year. 5 years ago, easy. 2018. Best movies of 2018. We're starting off with Mr. Mike Knox pick with The Incredibles. Looking forward to that one as we have a whole episode coming up here. And then we have our franchise month, well, franchise themes right now, which is the Hunger Games. And we're going to the third one, part one, which is none other than Mockingjay. So looking forward to that.
I didn't see that movie yet. And I didn't know that PETA did that. So watching the trailer, I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Spoiler alert. All right, Vic, is on you.
Okay, so let's talk more about this movie. One thing that I liked about this is that, just to piggyback on one thing that you said, is that, look, one thing that happens is this: when you're not into the woman, it's a lot easier to flirt than when you're into her. Why? Because you care about the outcome. Now, this scene right here was very interesting because this guy is all like, power suit, power tie, power steering. That's how I roll. Because his whole thing was all just about banging her, right? So now I appreciate it about this because, Will Smith is, because Hitch, his main thing is to help people find a connection, not just to sleep with somebody. Because the guy was, and mind you, and that guy was extra sleazy because he literally wanted to He literally couldn't get this girl out of his mind, and he wanted to pay Hitch in order to get her into bed. Which is crazy because it's just like, wow, like, you know, you thinking about this so much that you just want to get her in the bed, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's messed up. Now this whole situation, when things start to unravel and then they start to make him like this bad person, I found that hilarious because, you know, it's funny because they always band together when somebody's feelings are hurt, but then when somebody feels good, then the hate comes. You know what I mean? But then when somebody's feelings are hurt, all of a sudden it's a women's march. So it's just, and that kind of thing, I think it's never going to change. But it's just definitely something that we got to deal with. And I felt bad for Hitch at the time because the truth is that his intentions were good. And a lot of people could definitely sympathize with that. Now, you know, speaking to the people that are very charismatic and can speak to a lot of women and things like that, I don't think that those kind of people are ever going to look at a woman and be insecure, or, you know, because the thing about it is just that, like, if you never sit there and spend all of this time thinking about this woman and wondering what it's going to be like and all this other stuff, all these extra feelings don't come into play. Now, one thing that I definitely learned throughout life and about this movie is that once you feel in somebody, go for it right away. No time wasted. And that was the main thing that Alex learned in this movie, because the reality is that without Hitch, he would have never had the confidence to make any of the moves that he made, whether they worked out or they didn't. And that is the reason why I love this movie. I will watch this movie for the rest of my life, and I will always recommend this movie. This is a Will Smith classic.
I said, do I like this movie or not? And I tried to do something that's typically not me, and it didn't work to me, in my opinion. I tried to do a Chris and try to throw you guys off. Clearly, I absolutely love this movie so much. And I love this movie on so many different levels because, and just for those who don't know, there's spoiler review, but, you know, Alex Hitchens is a dating coach. You know, he's got to mentor bumbling clients, Albert being one of those guys who's in love with Allegra Cole, which I fell in love with her name, Allegra. You know what I mean? But in the process, he's finding his own romantic setbacks where he meets Sara without an H, by the way. And he's here without an H. If you know Sarah's, that H and without an H, they fight over that type of shit. Okay, played by Eva Mendes as a reporter digging dirt on this guy. It was just a story, like Executive Talk says, a story within a story. And it's him trying to find his love at the same time as showing other people how to get love. And I just thought this movie on so many levels is so good. I can watch it over and over and over again because it's funny. It's heartfelt. It's dealing with, if you don't have no game, get some game, right? If you don't know how to talk to them, you can take some hints. Like he said, this part right here. I also put the all these girls, all these men over here talking to you. I woke up to, hey, get me a drink. She's feeling offended, brings it back like, hey, I just want to get you away from all that. Smooth as can be. I never used that one before. I'm married now, but if I was single, I would still use that move today.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the move to play it off. It's just so many things about this movie. From, like I said, Will with the Vance character, guy said, what do you say, big fast, big car, big things like that, and he was obsessed, and that pissed Will off because his Hitch off because he's not here to just slam bam, thank you, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Gas me up, get the skins, and I'm gone, as Mary J. Blige would say. You know what I mean? No, he's here for love. And as a hopeless romantic like myself, I just thought that part was great. And then at the end of the movie, when you come to find out that Sara blows the whistle on what he does and brings all these women together, and that wasn't the true case of things. You know what I mean? So everybody's getting mad. He's like, oh, ain't you you're the love doctor, and all these things going on like that. And then the funniest part of the movie is when he's on the date and he's trying to, you know, with her, and he's trying to get dirt. He's allergic to shellfish, and his face blows up like a balloon. It's just he's sitting there getting junk off of Benadryl. It's hilarious to me. And you can laugh. I don't know if you're a cry, but it's just so many layers to this movie. I absolutely love this. And when you say who we're doing Hitch, like I said, I came running like it was free breakfast at school. So thumbs up for me, executive consultant. Your thoughts on this movie?
I mean, I think we already know where I'm going to get at.
Glad you got dumped in this movie, by the way. Sorry about that.
Fine. Yeah, whatever. It was 20 years ago. But I think we all know where it's going. You know, I like this movie. It was entertaining. It was a good time, you know. When I watched again. Some years ago, though, I have to say my criteria is: did I enjoy the movie better than the Batman? And when I saw this 20 years ago, how did I preface this conversation? I was sitting around waiting to get dumped. How can I enjoy a movie when I'm sitting around waiting to get dumped? F you. So it has to be Hitch. It got me to not give a crap. Now, granted, I got dumped, I cried, but I was fine knowing I'm about to get dumped watching this movie because it was a good movie. Thumbs up for me.
Wow, 3 thumbs up. It's not often I actually see a thumbs up from an executive consultant in back-to-back movies. I mean, he gave it thumbs up for The Hunger Games, 1 and 2.
Incredibles 2 is next week, so we'll see that.
We go dangerous for that one. Let's see. But
I'll give you a spoiler alert. Hint: I liked Incredibles 1 better.
Is that why we jumped to Incredibles 2? Because I noticed we didn't do Incredibles 1. Why are we doing? Oh, because it came out in
2018.
Correct, because mine is a sequel also.
All right, I'll find the sequel.
I think
Disney Plus.
I think is it? No, he said he's gonna pick a sequel because
okay, I see what you meant.
Sequels.
Oh, in 2018, there ain't that many sequels that came out. I did a list for 2018. A lot of good movies came out in 2018.
Pacific Rim 2 is what I picked.
Yeah.
But clearly, since we're talking about Hitch, like this movie was awesome, wasn't it, gentlemen?
It didn't get a sequel.
It didn't get a sequel.
It didn't need a sequel.
Need a sequel. You know, it doesn't need a sequel at all. It got the job done, and the story was told. And what's the story that's being told? Be yourself.
Be yourself.
Try out. You can only make the shot if you shoot. You can only hit a home run if you swing.
Bowling.
Simple as that. You know what I mean? And the thing is that a lot of guys like Albert, they live in their head, and that's the problem. You don't know what she's gonna like. Here's the truth.
I was so in love with Allegra.
She doesn't know what she's gonna like, and that's one of the biggest revelations. Because a lot of men just run around like asking her questions, like, "Oh, so do you like this? Oh, so do you like that?" She has to experience it first. You take her out on an experience, and she had a good experience with Palm. Look, he tried to take her to Ellis Island, and ended up kicking her in the head, ended up making her cry. You know what I mean? Like, yo, but
with the stuff on the wall with the grandfather,
yeah. And mind you, that date was terrible. But what would have happened if he never went on it? You understand? They still had it. Look at that bomb. You see that? It's not always going to be perfect. It's not always going to be smooth sailing. But at the end of the day, if you like somebody, give it a shot. It's worth it instead of living in your goddamn head. And that's what I did when I was a kid. I was living in my head, putting these girls on these big ass pedestals. And then when I finally got there and I got to know them, I didn't really like them that much. You know what I mean? And now look, I'm getting married to a woman that I love. You know why? Because I got to get to know her, bro. And that's the shit. And here's the truth. There are women out there that are better looking than her. It doesn't matter to me. You know why? Because there's no pillow talk. There's no, you know what I'm saying? Like there's none of that. The intimacy is what matters. And that's here in this movie, it showed that to the T. Like just the level of intimacy that was created amongst all couples was just beautiful, especially with Albert and the supermodel. Because at the end, look, she wanted the goofball. She liked that about him. Fuck the money. Fuck all the bougie people.
She got the money.
And the people that think everything is disgusting. I love that line when he was like, "Hey, how about the new Jet Stadium that's on the west side? What do you think of it? Disgusting, right?" That shit had me running. I was like, "Yeah, that was great." You know what? I'm about to go watch this movie again. Anyway,
you don't need no pizza.
I'm talking too much now.
Exactly.
Well, go ahead and get us up out of here then.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for joining us tonight and watch to review Hitch. Join us next week as we continue talking about Hunger Games and 2018 movies. But this is Vic, Mike Knox, and the Rain Cloud Executive Consultant. You guys have an amazing evening.
Peace.
Did you ever hear this guy they call the date doctor?
Urban myth.
Really?
Absolutely.
I was told you were the guy that helps guys like me.
Nobody's perfect,
That's pathetic.
but one man
My name is Alex Hitchens. Call me Hitch.
can help you come close.
Let me give you my number. Do you have a pen?
Yes, I do. Great.
Hitch, the cure for the common man.
Oh wait, shout out to my boy Dre. That was my Hitch back in the day. You heard? Anyway, good night, y'all.